I had somebody message me a message, pride over love, you know, and I bet she was a female. So what are these people saying? They're saying that instead of God, because remember Jesus taught us that God is love, okay? So they're saying that instead of going with God and helping me protest for God, that they're going to roll with their pride and choose the same thing that Satan did. He said, I'm proud to have this status in society, and I want my status to be increased, not decreased. I want to move up the ladder, not down. So they chose their vanity over love. So whether it's, you know, a fat person eating their heart out while people starve, whether it's a serial killer killing little kids while little kids starve in foreign countries, it's your vanity, my friend. You're not going with the principles of God and love. You're going with your selfish vanity. You're saying, I deserve this. I should be in this position. I should have these privileges that don't really make sense. Why should you be treated special? It's like my parents, right? My parents were like, I should have control over you that other parents don't have. Because I'm a brain surgeon. No one's going to question my control over you. In fact, they're going to understand. In fact, we're going to move to the middle of nowhere. I'm going to create the circumstances where you're constantly slipping up. I'm going to create the circumstances where you're under my roof and that you're constantly slipping up, being forced to turn to us for help. And then I'm going to turn around and say, it's my house. That's what my dad used to always do. I say, Dad, but the Prozac has me feeling like a psychopath. I feel like a weird psychopath who's like in some kind of silly mind state, but yet wants to hurt people. He's saying, so what? Take the pill. It's my house. I said, but the Zoloft isn't helping. I'm more depressed than I've ever been in my entire life. The Zoloft isn't helping. Take the pill. It's my house. I said, but the Depakote makes me sick to my stomach. The Depakote has me having all the side effects. I read the side effects. I had every single one. Okay? I even had blood when I passed, excreted waste. Okay? I even had bloody nose, blurry vision, lightheadedness. I even passed out on the road. I said, but this Depakote is having me pass out on the road. I'm experiencing all the side effects. He said, so what? Take the pill. It's my house. Shut up. Okay? And it was that stupid attitude that had me stuck here. I said, Dad, if you keep saying that same stupid fucking phrase, it's going to be a curse. And instead of us addressing the real issues, the underlying issues here, the underlying cause of our problems, we're all going to be stuck here pissed off, and you're still going to be blaming me for the problem that you created. And that's where we are now. That was 15 years ago. This is 15 years later. Now, in that 15-year period, I was saying, but Dad, the Depakote is making me sicker. The Diaxpro, whatever the fuck starts with a D, it's something besides Depakote. It had me feeling like I was descending into hell. I couldn't even sleep at night. The pills were fucking my head up so much, I couldn't even sleep still. And I was tossing and turning all night. That's real story. Real story. I was in the hospital tossing and turning all night for a pill they forced me to take. And at the end, I felt more violent than I've ever felt in my entire life. Okay, nobody knows my brain better than I do. I went from being a perfectly good kid to wanting to kill myself, to wanting to kill other people, to fighting an entire crusade against the pharmaceutical companies because I saw what they did to my mom. I saw what they did to me. I saw how they're the #1 cause of death in teens. Okay? Teens who are under the control of control freak parents like my dad. Okay? Only difference between the parents in town who send their kid to the nut house and my parents is they don't have the standing in society. They don't live in the middle of nowhere. Everything that all of you people are going through with the pharmaceutical companies, I went through 100 times worse. Because my dad was somebody who could also prescribe prescription pills. Because my dad was in bed with all the shrinks. He knew them all. Long before I was ever, quote-unquote, diagnosed with anything, my dad was friends with all the psychiatrists who would diagnose me. And guess where he took me? And even that day when he set me up, he had a prior arrangement with a psychiatrist to send me to his institution instead. And the only reason he was upset that day wasn't because of the way they treated me, wasn't because they violated all my rights, took away my gun rights, were going through my personal belongings. He didn't care about that. The only reason he was upset that day is because I didn't end up in the nut house that he wanted me to, so I could be forced into his agenda. On record. Check the phone records. Okay? Check the phone records. Before I went to the hospital, who was he calling? What was he saying to them? Is that not illegal as shit? Thank you.